Hi, it's Noelle CoStar here with NoWellness.com, and today I'm going to be doing some full moon readings. So today, August 19th, is actually the full moon in Aquarius, where we have some other big energies at play. We are right in the middle of Mercury being in retrograde, and Mercury is going to be going direct next week on the 28th. And then the sun is also shifting into Virgo this week on the 22nd. So there's a lot of movement and a lot of energy, and it's my favorite time to do a reading so that we can know what transformation, what answers, what are we most ready to put our energy into. So if you haven't ever subscribed or liked my channel, I invite you to do that right now. And by all means, if you have a friend or a family member that you know is in need of a little bit of clarity, send them this reading. Share it. Share it as carrot, right? Sharing is caring, my daughter always says. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. You're going to choose what reading you would like, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so don't make it a big deal. Just ask yourself, put your hands on your heart, and you say, what is for me right now? Which reading is most for me? And whatever pops into your mind first, or whatever your gut reaction is, that's what you want to go for. Don't be like, oh, this and that and the other thing. Go on your first thing and then type it in the comments. The reason you're going to type it into the comments, even though this is pre-recorded, technically there is no time, but you getting very clear and putting that in the comments, it directs the energy and the awareness of what you're going to receive from this reading, okay? So it's going to be more effective for you if you participate, okay? So go ahead and pick 1, 2, or 3 and drop that in the comments right now. Okay, so what am I going to be asking today, you might want to know? Well, the first thing we're going to ask is, what do you need to reevaluate or rethink during this time? Because that's a major theme of the Mercury being in retrograde. And I'm sure you've experienced a whole lot of the other stuff because, man, we've had a lot of the technology challenges in this particular Mercury retrograde. But you're going to need to also be aware that it's a good time to get rest. Make sure you're resting, especially if you're a Gemini, a Virgo. And also, I really feel like this is extremely affecting Pisces as well. Make sure that you're not beating yourself up for feeling tired, okay? You need to give your mental awareness a break and shut it down, okay? And get some sleep. The other thing I'm going to ask during this reading is, what truth or what new awareness is trying to be brought to light for you during this full moon in Aquarius that we have right now. So lastly, I wanted to throw in one more card. I thought I'd throw in an oracle. So let me just say, I'm doing readings out of the Wheel of the Year deck. This is one of my favorite decks. But, you know, the Leo energy just calls me here with its big, powerful orange. So that's what I'm doing the readings out of. And then I drew one oracle card just asking what self-care would most benefit you for the next 2 weeks of August. Because as we are moving into Virgo and we have this retrograde going on, it's important to take care of yourself. That's a real strong theme. So I did that reading out of the Sacred Self-Care deck. And I just love this deck. I draw a card every month for my ladies in the Circle of Light out of this deck. And we really enjoy it. So, okay, if you haven't already, pick which reading you want and go ahead and put that into the comments. And I'll just also say before I get into the reading, if you are somebody that is learning how to do readings, maybe you have cards, maybe, you know, you're getting into a book and you're dabbling around, but you kind of want to learn how to get into your intuition a little bit, hop on over to thetarottribe.com And I have a whole bunch of resources on there. So you just got to pop your name and your email address in there, and I'm going to shoot you out a bunch of stuff. So it's going to help meditation, lessons, a guide sheet, everything you need to really start feeling comfortable in your own skin giving a reading to somebody, or to just give a reading to yourself and be able to get some accurate insight, okay? So get on over there, thetarottribe.com, and get that for yourself. All right, so let's get started. Number one, so are you ready? Okay, so the first thing, I never look at the cards before. I do pick them ahead of time for the factor of time, but I don't look at them because I like it to be my first, insight into it. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, you got the moon card. You got the moon on the full moon, my dear. Okay, so this is saying, what do you need to rethink or reevaluate during this time? Well, sometimes we believe that we are, really acting out on, we're following signs, or we're saying like, okay, give me a sign, and we think we're following this breadcrumbs of signs. And sometimes we need to stop and rethink and reevaluate. Are we actually moving in alignment with our soul? Or are we just following whatever is pulling us all these different ways? So I want you to take some deep breaths and really center into your being this month and just ask, especially tonight, it's the full moon, So take some deep breaths and just center in and say, what does my higher self want me to know? I am listening. How can I feel you more strongly? How can I feel more rooted in your presence? But how can I most connect to my higher self? Because the ways that you're currently doing it feel disorienting to me, like it's not serving you in the best capacity. The other thing is, this week, if you're having dreams, or if you've had some dreams, maybe about almost, I don't want to say 2 weeks ago, but like 10-day, 8-day kind of ago, and you were having some dreams that maybe you felt like were very vivid and you wrote them down or you remember them, it's good for you to go over that stuff again, because it feels like there's things that were being shown to you, old patterns and old ways of being, that they're showing you like this is the time for releasing that. So just if you haven't already had some of those dreams, be in the awareness of them now, okay? All right, let's look at your second card. Okay, this is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. And I know at first glance, this card can look a little bit daunting. This guy's sitting under a giant mushroom. Rain is pouring down. There's a storm. But, the silver lining is, look at this giant mushroom you're able to take shelter under, and, okay, so what new awareness this is being brought to light? It feels like, when we are in a state of despair, when we are in a time of feeling like we do not have enough money, or there's not enough support, or something has happened that has taken us out of our path and has created a situation of lack in some form or fashion. It might be a health challenge, okay? Either way, sometimes this brings the mind to a place where you're repeating, and please don't be offended by this, because we all do it. We all play the role of a victim at times, okay? but we can get caught into a pattern of speaking victim words to ourselves, not being in the awareness of divine, because we're in the awareness of lack, and the divine is able and capable and bigger than any situation, circumstance, or event. So we want to use this time. What's being brought to light for you is the ability to pivot in your mind. And if you can coax your mind to come over here a little bit and start seeing that, isn't it good that I do have some shelter? Look for any bits of good. Isn't it good that my legs are working when I get up this morning and they are carrying me through my day? Isn't it good that there's electricity in my house and you can just carry on and get your awareness moving in the direction of positive, of prosperity, of abundance, of support, of the things that are available. Because in doing that, you can change everything. You have the ability right now to change everything. And I know that it might be feeling or have felt like this time, this last month or 6 weeks for you might have felt a little bit depressed or a little bit all over the place. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. Then you have the awareness, okay, I've been here. I know what this is feeling like. And now I'm ready to start soothing myself and move out of a state of suffering, because I have felt this suffering and I know it. So now the only person that can help me in here is to start moving this other direction in my mind. It has to happen in the mind first, in the abstract, and then it moves into the physical, material form. Okay? So let's look at your self-care card. Ooh, aromatherapy. This is a great way to change your energy. This is a great way to calm down. This is a great way to instantly transport you. One of the things about smell is it can move you and it can move your energy faster than many other things. So find an aromatherapist or find some essential oils that you love. And maybe every day, I used to own a day spa and I used to go in every day. I had an oxygen machine and I would put oil on the oxygen machine and put it on a mask and do 15 minutes. And it was so amazing, just the difference it can make in your life, in the waking up, in your energy, everything. So I encourage you to find some of that. You know, this is a 3, which is the number of creation, right? It's the number of finding joy. This one here, the awareness being brought to light, is a 5, which is requiring you to change an aspect of yourself. That's what's being brought to light. And then, you know, we have also the 18, which is a 9. So this is saying you're at some final phase that is looking to be rethought out, reevaluated how it was going to end in some way. So I would encourage you to do some journaling, do some reflecting, and be excited because you're on the precipice of really good things, so long as you move through this with a positive state of mind, okay? All right. If you just had a reading, if you were a number 1 and this resonated with you, drop me some comments. Let me know what you thought of this, what resonated with you here. I really want to interact with you guys. Okay, so if you pick number 2, here we go. I'm ready for you. All right, so our first card, here we go, is the Queen of Cups. So again, number twos, we've asked here, what do you need to rethink or reevaluate at this time? And so this is saying to me, I would do a deep dive into some of your emotions, some of the places that you are allowing yourself to have to be present for your family, or different responsibilities that you've committed to, and you're doing these different things. I want you to be in the awareness and be present of what emotions are happening during that time. Is it happiness and joy, or is it obligatory and feels a little bit down? Because it feels like something that's maybe important for you to evaluate during this time is where you're committed to emotionally. Some of it needs to be to yourself, and it feels very much like it's an important time to nourish your own emotional stability. So that might mean, spending some alone time, doing some of the things that might fill you up, regenerate you, whether that is getting a massage, whether that is watching a good old movie, whether that is, having a pedicure or something like that. It just feels like, you spend a lot of time with others, and this is some time for you to connect with your spiritual essence. It's hard to hear divine guidance when you're always listening to other people's stuff, when you're always the friend that somebody can call. So I just want you to rethink and reevaluate what you're doing with your time and your emotional energy, okay? All right, so let's look at the second card. And this here is the Page of Pentacles. And this is saying, what new awareness or truth is being brought to light right now? And so there's a couple of things. Number one is, like I was just talking about, it feels like your spirit guide, and I know more than one of you are listening to this as a number two. You all have spirit guides, okay? It's not just one person. Everybody has a spirit guide. You guys have your spirit guides around you right now. They're wanting you to hear and discern more guidance so that your life path can be more enjoyable and fulfilling. So, like I just said a minute ago, this is being an awareness that's being brought to light to you right now. And this part two is that it feels like you might be guided to get some more education. It doesn't have to be school. It can be a new hobby, or I don't know. It just feels like there's learning involved, and you shouldn't be afraid of that. You're never too old to learn. You're never done learning. So don't be afraid to pick up something new, because it does feel like whatever your guide's trying to get you to do, sometimes you're so involved in so many things that you don't give yourself time to read or do some of the things that would help you and fill you up emotionally so you can feel more balanced and nourished in your life. Okay. Let's hear what your self-care card is. And I know, sometimes, this is all going hand in hand, number twos. Make an altar. Okay, so this is a 16, which is the number of spiritual development and wisdom. And they're all going hand in hand, everything here. I know sometimes people can hear the word altar and they get like, ooh, that's voodoo. And, even the cards and all these things, people can get a little bit freaked out that they're messing with something that they shouldn't be. But let me go ahead and make you aware that you are always allowed to connect to your divine source energy. You are never without it. God is always present within you. It's not for some religions and not for others. Every single alive thing on planet Earth is connected to divine source loving God. And you can call it whatever you want, but that's what it is. And so don't get it twisted. There's lots of ways to connect in, but this is this is kind of fun. You know, what I love about creating an altar, for me, when the first time I created an altar was when my grandfather died, my mother's dad, and I went up to their house in Pennsylvania to get his car and a couple of things in the house. And they used to have like this little bookcase that sat on a dresser in a bedroom that I always stayed in when I was there. And it had a little drawer, and when we were kids, you know, we played it and hid magic things inside. But it's just made out of wood. It's very simple, but it was something that would remind me and connect me to my family roots, to my ancestry, to everything that I loved about being a kid. And so I took that with me, and it became my first altar. So what did I put on my altar? Some crystals. I have some feathers that I've picked up along the way, but it started to be a place of building me up. So I would put a picture of myself and write words like, my self-esteem is high because I honor who I am. And I would take the time to every day take a pause, sit in front of my altar, light a candle, maybe do some sage, clear my energy, and speak words that were life affirming, and ask God to reveal to me whatever the will of God is. To wake me up in my senses, to help me clearly see, hear, know, and feel accurate information that will serve me, that will bless me, that will heal me and others. So you can ask for whatever you want, but making an altar is fun. It honors you, and it honors the divinity inside of you. So I hope you get busy with that. And if you do it, please do it, number twos. Take a picture if you feel confident enough to do that, or drop it in the comments and let me know, like, how did it turn out? How are you feeling after you did it? And I'm so excited to hear about your spiritual growth and development, because I really feel like that's what's coming out of this time for you. Okay, if you are a number 3, thank you. I'm sure maybe you might have already fast forwarded to here, but I'm excited to share with you number 3s. And if you have already had a reading from me, then please, if you enjoyed it, share these readings with other people. Like this video, subscribe, because I put more of these out and you'll get more of them. Okay, here we go, number 3s. We are on your reading. So your first card here is the Page of Cups. I love this picture. She's like smelling something wonderful, a flower. There's these beautiful puffy cotton candy trees in the background. So what do you need to rethink or reevaluate at this time? Well, I think it's important to notice what you are giving your attention to. And this seems to be a little bit of the theme here with all 3 readings, but it's important for you to fall in love with yourself. And sometimes we can be waiting or looking for this love to come from an outside source, where why aren't we getting told this, or why isn't other people making me feel more loved and appreciated? And it starts with you. So this is something that I want you to kind of look at and say, how much am I loving me? How good is my own self-talk? And when we're talking about loving yourself, that doesn't mean, although it can, you know, there's many love languages, and we're giving those love languages to ourselves too, right? But If you are speaking words of loving kindness to you, you will have proof of it in your life by the way that the world shows up around you. If you are believing that you are loved and supported by the universe, if you are believing that you are loved and supported by others, and that love surrounds you everywhere you go, peace and harmony is existing inside of you and around you, then you have a different life experience, right? That somebody that doesn't believe those things. If you believe that the world is a scary, devious place and that everybody is out to get you, you will for sure experience a lot of that in your reality. So this card is saying more than anything, it's a time to look at where you are giving yourself love and where you're giving somebody else love, and is there a superficial element? Are you really working on it here? Because it's important that you're coming to here and really saying to yourself on a daily basis, I love and appreciate you. Thank you for the things that you're doing. Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for brushing my teeth. Thank you for drinking water. Thank you. Tell yourself. In the doing this to yourself, you will see other people in your reality show up and love on you. It's a law. It is a law that is spiritual, that is happening. And so I believe that if you are somebody that is overly infatuated with yourself, this might be a time to rethink how much time and attention you spend on yourself versus how much time and attention you are giving your love away, right? And I don't mean on yourself like in a let me fill myself up way. I mean on yourself just thinking like, I should do whatever I want because I can, and I just need to focus on me and focus. It's okay to say those things, but not if it's cutting you off from being part of the whole, right? Not if it's cutting you off from connection to other people. So don't wait for love. Love yourself, and everything is going to be gravy. So this is your second card, the Strength card. And so this is saying what new awareness is being brought to light. And so this is part 2, is that, part of it is, like I said, I know I was talking about your relationship with yourself, but clearly there's a relationship you're involved with that you're definitely thinking, am I putting too much in? Are they not putting enough in? All these things. And so that's why I'm saying it's important for you to love yourself, and you'll notice that as you do that, it will be abundance in your life. You don't have to worry about what you're putting in versus what you're getting back. This part here, the Strength card, is saying that out of this, you're going to start realizing that everything doesn't have to be a fight, that physically you can do lots of things, but you can do way more by using your mind. This is 80% happens in the abstract. 80% happens in the non-physical, right? But a lot of times we spend a lot of time thinking, no, I have to do it all. I have to get busy. I have to get this done. I'm going to make this happen. And that's a very, it's an American way to be, but it's also a human way to be. We get very attached to exercising our physical ability to do things and get things done and conquer. However, life can become much more easy if we start here in the inner game. In the inner game where you're using your mind to relax and release the tension and the pressure that is being generated by the physical brute force that you are trying to do. If you can just surrender a little bit and understand that it's all happening in your mind. So if you're loving yourself there, that's going to create something else. If you're speaking words of kindness there, it's going to create something else. And that's what's being brought to light for you, this new awareness that you have so much more power than you know. You can create all the love that you want. It's not separate from you. You have the power right now within you. Okay, so let's see what you got here. Create art. Is that what that says? It does. Create art. So this is going to be such a good way for you to tap in to having fun and just allowing your authentic self to come out. And it's something that you can do alone. You don't need somebody else to be with you for. You can just start to create and see what comes out and decide that you're going to love it before there's even an end product, because you are love. You are light. And whatever you make is going to be absolutely magical. Okay, so 17, that's the number of attainment, and because that's an 8. Okay, you got an 8 here. We got an 8 here in the strength card as well. So 2 8s. So this is saying that you are about to really have a lot of things go really right, and you're going to hit this pinnacle of things that you have wanted to create, wanted to pull in your life. That's what this time is for you, this culmination of understanding how it all clicks together. And then you will have this masterful life of all of these things that you wanted to design, And so I am excited for you, and I hope that you take some pictures, show us what art you created, put it in the comments. I hope that you guys really come back here and let me know what you got up to. Even in this picture, it's like this mask, right? That's the part that they really make me feel like, is like, it's time for you to take the masks off and just love the heck out of who you are, whether anybody likes it or not. And in that mindset, the strength, the inner strength that you're going to be cultivating is stronger than any force that you would need in the physical. All right, well, I love you guys so much. I had so much fun today doing these full moon readings with you. If these messages helped you in any way, please share them with a friend. And because sharing is caring, and if we all share and care, then we can uplift and heal one human at a time. So I love you guys, and I'll see you real soon.